Hello friends, welcome back to the channel again. Code with me. So friends, in this video, let us talk about MBA interview. So friends, I assume that you guys are aware that MBA candidates is found to be one of the biggest assets in every organization. So they are the people who are helpful in any kind of financial matters and money matters. So they also play a very big prominent role in profit, bonus, and tie-ups in every organization. Speaking about the business administration, plays a prominent role in every organization. So there is no IT company or BT company without this domain business administration, because this is a phase where the exact value of mortgages generates. Okay, so before directly jumping to the video, if you're new to the channel, friends, make sure you hit the subscribe button followed by the bell button so that you'll be never missing my new updates. So friends, speaking about the video, MBA, Master of Business Administration, these are the candidates which involves in every process of business administration. So speaking about MBA is not all about just investing the money and getting the profit. There is a lot of and there is a ton of information. So there is a ton of domains that is under business administrations. So including the information technologies, there is a business technologies which plays a prominent role for every humankind. So speaking about starting with the degree, starting with the course of Master of Business Administration. Speaking about there are multiple categories, like we do have finance, we do have tours and travelisms, we have HR marketing, we have designs and much more. But speaking about the top three categories of Master of Business Administration, first comes with finance, and second comes with marketing, and third it comes with human resource, HR. Okay, so if I'm not wrong, I assume that you guys are completely aware this finance marketing human resource is one of the top priority of MBA candidates. So if a candidate is doing MBA course, I assume that his first priority will be one of these things: finance, marketing, and human resource. So these are the candidates where plays a prominent role in all kind of salaries, gross salaries, or every inch of insurances and loans department. Every inch of this money matter is undertaken by these candidates. So MBA people are the most valuable people for every organizations, want to be called as assets of every organizations. So friends, speaking about the interview skills, about what the interview focus on finance candidates, what to interview focus on marketing candidates, and what to interview focus on human resource candidates. Okay, so obviously these are completely different field, but sitting an interview for these particular domains, there are multiple types of questions as on based on the domains of our friends. So speaking about the individuality of this finance, marketing, and human resource, let us take the individually. So friends, speaking about first and foremost finance. See friends, finance in the sense, obviously there is a one thing come to your mind, that is loans. I'm not trying to say that obviously loans is one of the most biggest domain in finance department. So every student tend or work hard just to dive into this domain called loans department, where there is a lot of money involved in this particular domain. So in this field, friends, first and foremost, I would like you to be thorough in documentation. Friends, in finance department, there is a lot of things like loans, insurance, tax, everything. But for every single domain, we do carry documents. Here, friends, what I'm trying to explain is for every kind of task, we do perform documentation for further safeties. I assume you guys are completely aware about these financial matters. So when it comes to the financial matter, so we focus more on the documentations along with the money. If the money wants to be safe in your hand, I assume there should be a document associated to that money which you're holding in your hand. That is the power of documentation. So until and unless you don't have any proper documentation, so the money will not be hard or safe on your hand. There will be a lot of eyes peeping into your bank account. So I want you guys to be thorough documentation. Like I'm not trying to say exactly be thorough about documentation. I mean, what all the information that is needed for documentation, where and all the signatures are needed, what are the parameters that is needed, what are the agreements that is needed. So these are all the parameters that is included in the documentation. So I want you to guys learn about what is documentation. When the interview is asked what are the important parameters for documentations, you guys must be able to answer that like bank details, agreement details, signature, stamps. So these are all the parameters that is extremely important for the documentations. So I assume, friends, in your life, one or other way, there might be a documentation for any other. It might be educational or it might be a loans, any. So second, I recommend you is loans. Loans, friend. Speaking about the loans, obviously every single person or every worker tends to make a loan. Okay, so we cannot try. We will be we cannot assure that every single day of our life will be Sunday. So there might be hard times where financially really is needed. So there is a scenario because people tend to make the loans. Speaking about the loans, we do have a lot of loans like mortgage loans, home loans, personal loans, car loans, vehicle loans, education loan, agricultural loan. For instance, I have added three, but there are thousands. There are a variety of loans. So speaking about these loans, in this domain, if you're working under, if you are giving interview for this finance, I want you to be thorough at the loans. So what is loans? What is mortgage loans, home loans, and what are all the interest that is associated to it? And what are the criteria that has to be underwent to be make eligible for the loan, and what are the criteria that is not certified if the note is not eligible, how to make the candidate eligible, and what are the background verification that is undertaken if you are permitting a loan for a particular candidate that is applied for it. So these are all the criteria that you have to be thorough about the loans. If the interview is asking a question about loans, you make sure, you guys, this is one of the most prominent phase. This is one of the biggest phase in MBA people, where MBA candidates tend to move to these domains. Okay, so think about tax. So tax, friends, I assume that you guys are very familiar with this concept called as tax. So even if you go for a hotel, they will charge service tax, GST, IGST, CGST. There are a lot of taxes involved in every kind of professional money matters. So speaking about tax, you have a SGST, CGST, IGST, state, central government tax, income tax. There is a lot of tax involved in every kind of money matters. I'm not trying to say that only the tax involved in the salary matters. Even if you purchase even if you purchase a product like furnitures, they will add tax. Even if you go for a hotel, they will add tax. Even if you make any shopping, they will add tax. Even if you go for a hotel, service tax is also included. So there is much more type of tax that is included. So one of the basic and common tax that is you guys have is GST, grand sale tax. This is the common tax that every not only MBA, every single candidate of educated people are aware about these taxes. So friends, if you're sitting in an interview, I recommend you these three concepts like documentation, loans, and tax is the prominent role that interview tries to hit you with. Because I'm not trying to say you only need basics for that. I want to dive in these three concepts, because if you are dive in these three concepts, I assume, friends, you will be a lot more successful than you expected in these three domains. Okay, so we have bankings. First thing, when you come to the financial, obviously that is involved in the bankings, will have single window operators, double window operators, and much more positions involved in the financial matters. Okay, and account brokerages. So if you guys are aware about brokerages, I assume the brokerage is all about the commissions that is completely involved. Assume, friends, if you are buying a site or a land, so there will be a broker involved in receiving and a sender. So there will be a middleman between a receiver and a buyer, sender or a buyer, whatever it may be. So that kind of brokerage loan is also a kind of a profession in 2021. Example, land. So these brokerages, without any investments, they make money. So they do build a relationship with sender and a buyer. So with the in the meantime, if the brokerage help with buyer to purchase his satisfactories, so in return he'll be receiving a commission of somewhat like 2%, 3%, depends on the product or depends on the land that he's purchasing. So here brokerage is also one of the important financial matters which the people make a lot of money. Okay, so next, investments in the sense, and obviously we have a lot of investments and advisors. See, friends, investments in the sense, I'm not trying to say that you make all a recursive deposits or a charity funds or chits or whatever it may be. Investment in the sense, friends, that it will be helpful for your future. Even if you die, that will be helpful for your next generation of future. That is called as investments. Investment is not, I'm not talking about only the insurances, this blood insurance, car insurance and life insurance. That is not the investments. Perhaps there is much more beyond that of safety. Investment in the sense, assume friends, if you are purchasing a land for a certain amount of money, so you not only be thinking that this land will be good for building a house. So at the same time, you'll also be thinking that this will be my further investment for any kind of loan facilities or my your dream product. Okay, next comes service providers. Talking about service provider, you guys are aware about the financial client service, credit service. In this scenario, you'll be acting as interface between the organization and the customers. So this is service provider. I assume, guys, that you'll be communicating with the that you're communicating with the customers who has enrolled in kind of organizations, somewhat like applications or loans departments. If the customers have any query regarding any of these things, what you can see, documentation, loans, tax, banking, account brokerages, investments. So there will be a service provider who help in fulfilling these doubts the customer is having. So friends, if I talk about this financial, in this phase, the most important topic that every candidate focuses on salary and much more than salary is incentives. So this is the phase where you earn a lot of incentives, additional monies, what you call as profit and bonuses. So speaking about MBA, this is the phase where you earn lot of incentives and money. So I recommend you to, guys, if you are giving interview finance, I recommend you to be thorough in these three concepts which you're looking for. Okay, so next comes marketing. Obviously, friends, marketing in the sense, you guys will be aware that marketing is nothing but it's a process of marketizing your product. Okay, so assume you have your own shop, or maybe you assume your own shop, or whatever it may be. If you're trying to come up with a new business or personal business, marketing plays a prominent role. That is how you touch your product to every hearts of the customers. Okay, so speaking about the marketing, there are three types of marketing which you have to focus on. Under the three types, and everything under every type of marketing comes under the subdivision of these three types of marketing. If you ask me what are those three types of marketing, which everything comes under this subdivision. So friends, first comes order marketing. So assume, friends, if you are working on a business, if you are a artwork business, so you will try to publish your art in every of your posters, banners, in every kind of scenarios. I mean, that is out of the organization. So when you try to publish and try to marketalize your product out of the organization, that is called as order marketing. I'm not trying to say that only banners, Guinness, and even the pamphlets, even even kind of a payslip formats, that kind of these things are done by marketing. So outdoor marketing. So generally outdoor marketing in the sense that you marketalize your product out of the organization. Okay, so next comes indoor marketing. So indoor marketing is another phase where you do inside the organization. Okay, so this is the organization where assume, friends, that you assume you went to purchase a new smartphone, obviously. So that will be done in that cannot be done outside the marketing, that cannot be done outdoor. Perhaps if you want to purchase a new smartphone, you'll go to the nearest smartphone showroom. You'll check a lot of phones, and you purchase at the end of the time. You purchase a smartphone that of your likability. So that is called as indoor marketing. And next and foremost, which everyone is completely aware about, digital marketing. So digital marketing is one of the biggest, that is one of the best and better method for marketing, where you touch a lot of candidates or customer with less effort and less time. Obviously, if you talk about Facebook, Instagram is going to be one of the most biggest digital marketing platforms where you can marketalize your product. With an extreme short amount of time, you can marketalize your product to thousands of candidates. Okay, so speaking about next, friends, human resources. So in my previous video, I assume, guys, in my previous video that you guys are completely about human resource. See, friends, HR, it's a human resource focus on 4 steps in entire recruitment process. Okay, so the entire workflow of HR human resource consists of 4 major assets, that is sourcing, screening, scheduling, and follow. What is sourcing, friends? Sourcing is the phase that where you try to pick up your candidates. And I'm trying to say that you only pick up one candidate and select. It's a process where you select thousands of candidates, and upon the interviewing that particular candidate, you'll select one. I'm not trying to say you'll only select one and hire him. So there's a process, there's a workflow associated to human resource process. Here what do you do? You will collect a set of candidates. Okay, so the process of selecting a set of candidates from particular portals like Naukri.com, Indeed, and job portals, whatever it may be. So process of selecting candidates from job portals, not only job portals and any more websites or any more other sources, is called as sourcing. Next comes screening. Screening in the sense is kind of a virtual thing that you make a self-introduction with a particular candidate that you are giving interview with. That is called as screening. And speaking about scheduling in the sense that you try to pull out the candidate to the organization to have face-to-face interest. So you set a time and date for that. That is called a schedule. And follow up in the sense until the candidate is present to the organization for the interview, that is called as follow up. Until and unless the candidate is come and give the interview in the organization, that is called as follow up. Even if he selected or terminated, that is secondary. Once the candidate is hit to the organization for the interview, that is called as follow up. That is the end of human resource. Okay, and documentation, after selecting documentation, is a second story. But speaking about HR, these are the prominent roles that has to be followed up. Okay, so thanks for watching, friends. And if you, before directly ending this video, please do subscribe and share, like the video, and don't forget to comment the video. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.